There's a time countdown.
Welcome back to our ACMies day here at the ACM. It's an exciting day. We've just done our first event, which was part of our Level 6 BA Honours students that were talking about academia and the subjects and research that they've made their way through. Thank you again to Dr. Tom Atherton. He's done a great job, and our students, Amber and Will. That was really wonderful. We're going to ramp things up a little bit here today because we're going from Level 6 to Level 7. And we have a master's event for you today. If you're not aware, ACM is running a master's program that you should check out because it's pretty awesome. It's very cutting edge, and you're going to hear all about it today. So I'll get out of the way, and I'm going to hand over to Katja Carvalho.
Thank you, Mike. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Postgraduate Showcase here at the SSL Studio in ACM Guildford. My name is Katja, and it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you to today's event.
Our program is designed to equip you with the skills you need to craft a sustainable career. Our program is designed to equip you with the skills you need to craft a sustainable career in one of the most exciting, dynamic, and ever-changing creative industries. You'll be able to reflect on your personal strengths and professional goals to enhance your purpose and positioning within your chosen professional community. And you will do this by evidencing CPD activities engaging with the requirements of a particular external framework. That could be WISE for gamers, LCM diplomas for musicians, leadership and management, creative attributes by UAL, and so much more. You'll also have an incredible opportunity to collaborate and network with like-minded individuals to build your own creative community. This will not only help you bring your creative projects to life, but you'll be able to form valuable connections that support your career longevity and sustainability. And finally, you will put your innovative ideas into practice. You'll learn key concepts from design thinking, innovation, and entrepreneurship, alongside the analysis and application of research to be able to develop and craft your capstone project, ensuring you stay ahead in your field and make a long-lasting impact. So as part of the Postgraduate Academy community, you'll have the chance to learn from our interdisciplinary faculty, a diverse range of expert tutors from all different disciplines, from production, performance to games, design, business, creative artistry, and so others. Creative Industries Futures is a subject-agnostic and holistic course focused on innovation, where you ideate and create through the lens of your specialism. So we want to make sure you have the support you need. So at a master's level, you'll not only benefit from an individual personal tutor, but an assigned advisor for academic supervision and a specially allocated career mentor that will guide you through our research and ideas repository to help you become part of a thriving creative community. What's more, you'll also benefit from ACM Research, Thought Leadership, and Enterprise Series. This is a set of extra opportunities with monthly research seminars, termly live events, and the possibility to apply to the Incubator Hub, where you can further develop and showcase your practice-based research to your peers and surrounding community. Join us at ACM and work with us on the exciting next chapter of your learning and development to become the very best creative leader you can be.
Got a glimpse into our master's program here at ACM, and now I'm delighted to bring you an exciting range of presentations that truly demonstrate innovation, skill, craft, and personal development. We're excited to showcase some of the wonderful work produced by our master's students. Their projects not only highlight their academic and creative journey, but almost promise you to leave you inspired and enthused by their ingenuity and dedication. So allow me to introduce our brilliant presentations for today. We have Tobias Briggs, who will be revealing his National Young Musicians Framework development. Jeer, who is showcasing his innovative DIY music synthesizer prototype. Javina Greene, who's going to be sharing with us her initiative on the Females About Music Collective. and Courtney Farrant, who will give us a quick overview into her educational development for independent musicians in South Africa. We are immensely proud of not only the depth but breadth of these research projects produced by our very own postgraduate students. Each presentation today is a testament to their hard work, creativity, and passion for their craft. So without further ado, let's dive into our first presentation. Please join me in welcoming Tobias Briggs to the stage. Yeah, the clicker there with you.
Where is it?
Hello, everyone. Today I'm going to be presenting the National Young Musicians Framework. This will make sense, hopefully, by the end of the presentation. So, a bit about me. I began learning music production in 2019, and I joined ACM in 2020 to study electronic music production. And around this time last year, I was graduating my bachelor's studies, and I wasn't really sure on what to do next to my musical career. Some of the thoughts I had was there was a bit of disparity between the work, input, and financial security in the music industry, and I found that there was no clear route for industry placement, which led me to joining the Masters and hopefully tackling some of these issues. So, some of the things that the industry doesn't tell you. Education tells you there are promising career opportunities. I'm sure ACM will say that there's access to cutting-edge technology, and you can have flexibility in career choices. And the industry itself says there's loads of creative professions, modern studios with high-quality production facilities, and loads of networking opportunities with other professionals. However, the gaps that I found was a need for interdisciplinary skills, irregular work hours and burnout risk, and there's a very high competition and job insecurity. So from these gaps, during my studies, to try and fill them in, I took part in engaging with industry stakeholders to develop an interdisciplinary traineeship program, analysing professional practice frameworks to develop leadership and innovation skills within myself, as well as researching a strategy to enhance career progression and sustainability for young musicians. So my initial solution was something called Uncharted Sonics, and I thought of this idea over Christmas of 2023. And the idea originally was a record label and recording studio tailored to emerging professionals. The idea would be Uncharted Sonics acts as a stepping stone for young professionals so they can venture on to bigger things in their career, but providing them with the training and support needed that I found education didn't really provide them. I officially established this company in January of this year. So, how was I going to make Uncharted Sonics work? I think the two things needed to be done was a research project and engaging with industry professionals. So for my research, I started analysing socioeconomic factors that were influencing young musicians' career progression, examining the role of organisational structures and support systems such as the Musicians' Union, ISM, to see how they're really supporting young musicians. And the end goal was to develop a comprehensive strategy. In terms of engaging with other industry professionals, I connected with academic professionals who had academic expertise, industry knowledge, resource and connections, and led to establishing some partnerships with recording studios and other professionals. So the main three findings from my research was that mental health issues are significantly impacting career progression. The second biggest finding was that financial instability was a major concern. And finally, that there is a massive need for interdisciplinary skills and improved education. From my collaboration with industry professionals, I developed an AI-powered tool that can be used to enhance career progression, which I will show you a bit more of later. gained insights on how CLOC can be integrated into a traineeship program to enhance accreditation. For those who don't know, CLOC is an organisation that offers accreditation for informal learning to help those who have loads of career experience but not the academic background to back it up, to provide them with equal playing fields. And the third thing was discovering a strategy that would be best for emerging professionals to improve industry placement. And that strategy was the National Young Musicians Framework. So this is the website that I've built for the framework. The main body of the framework is that progression tier, which when it goes back onto, I will show you, explain to you. This is the AI tool being in use. So the idea is that this framework is aimed at educational institutions, and they can work their way through from tier 1 all the way to tier 4, and each of these tiers have a set of 5 topics that students can learn from, and each topic and activity and resource have been tailored with the gaps needed for them to progress in the industry. So looking at financial instability, mental health issues, etc. The AI tool is still in beta phase, but the idea is that, say ACM, for example, said, I need help with session content for my base students. The AI tool will then output a tailored version of the framework specifically for those students to make it a much more personal learning experience and help tackle the needs of that specific institution. Again, these are the tiers. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4. Tier 1 starting with basic skills and initial exposure. Tier 2 looking at advanced skills and performance experience. Tier 3 professional skill refinement and networking. And Tier 4 career establishment and industry recognition. So looking forward, I plan to pilot test the NYMF with a higher educational institution to evaluate its effectiveness and gather feedback for refinement. And to expand on the research that I've done, I would like to include insights from other creative sectors and not just look at musicians, but also look at videographers, photographers, etc. And hoping that will refine the framework and ensure its comprehensive applicability. Thank you for the presentation. That is a QR code you can scan for the website, but I advise you do it on a desktop because the phone's a bit junky. But yeah, thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeer, and I'm going to be taking you along my journey on my Masters. I'm going to take a lot less of an academic route and more of a personal experience. So, on average, a person sleeps for 8 hours, and that leaves 16 hours in a day to maybe get a coffee, get some exercise, go for a walk by yourself or with a dog, relax, or maybe cook some food. However, I spend my 16 hours building music synthesizers. So this journey into the Masters started at level 6, where for my exit specialism project, I built a fully analog modular synthesizer. And you might be asking, why in the hell did I do this? So I have always really loved analog hardware, music hardware especially, but I could never justify the cost. And as you can see here, 2 synthesizers on the screen, one for £400 and the other one's for £500. It's just, I couldn't justify it. I've always wanted some real analog grit in my music production. And I've always had a passion for electronics and my love for music, and I thought if I could merge the two, it's amazing. So even though building this synthesizer was great, it had a lot of lacking features such as MIDI input. It wasn't polyphonic, so it meant you could only play one note at a time. It wasn't very reliable, and it wasn't very portable because every time I moved it, it felt like it was going to fall apart. So after I built my synthesizer, I left ACM at level 6, and I wasn't really sure where I was going to go. I applied for a couple jobs, and I thought I was going to get them. I really did, but I didn't, and I failed, and it was really disheartening. So one day, I was sitting on my computer, and I got an email from ACM offering students at level 6 to go into the master's course, and I thought it was meant to be. So I took the opportunity, and I joined the masters. What I really loved about the masters was the fantastic open nature. You could do anything you wanted as long as it was in the creative industries. I was able to spend my time doing what I enjoy, which for me was looking into music synthesizers. And it also really stood out, like this was the opportunity for you to do something you've always wanted to do, but you never had the drive to. So during my masters, I focused on affordability and accessibility of music synthesizers. And as the outcome of my research, I built a prototype. This prototype here took me 64 hours to develop and cost £117, which you could say is more affordable, but it's a prototype, so you can't really tell just how affordable this synthesizer is going to be when you make it a full product. This synthesizer was able to address the problems and the lack of features that my modular synthesizer had. So you could play up to 4 voices at a time. It supported MIDI input. It had a menu which you could navigate different banks and sounds. It was reliable, and it was a lot more portable. Here I have a short video which I made with my brother of how I envision it to look in the future. And as you can see, it's quite a retro look, but that was kind of the aesthetic I was trying to capture with the synthesizer. It's small in size, and from my focus group that I conducted, people actually preferred a smaller synthesizer to a bigger one, so I think that's a big advantage in this case. So how did I get to this stage? I used 3 key things. So the design thinking methodology, the agile framework, and I developed a community to better understand the problems addressed. The agile framework, let's get my notes here. Oh, can't find it. So the agile framework is a specific approach to planning, managing, and executing work. Through the agile framework, I was able to learn various CPD techniques, and I was able to analyze my skill set further and in a deeper way than without using it. So I learned through the agile framework that I needed to work on my coding skills, I needed to work on my research skills, and these are all things that I took to the end of the masters, which helped me to build my synthesizer. The next thing I used was design and thinking methodology. I used the design and thinking methodology to actually build my synthesizer and to process it as it went along. So the design thinking methodology has the following stages: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. And through these stages, I was able to analyze user needs, which in this case was a low-cost synthesizer, create ideas on how we may do this, and then prototype and test. Through my community, Modest Synthesizers, I was able to communicate with industry professionals, which I might not have necessarily communicated with if it wasn't for the push of the masters. I was able to speak to professionals that have been purchasing synths for much longer than I can even imagine, and they have real life experience with where the problems are, and this was super useful in my research to further identify my gap. So now this leaves us in the current. My future activities which I'd like to do is keep developing my prototype, as I feel like it's a solid base for something that I can take further. And I would like to potentially take it further into small business. And that is everything. Thank you guys for listening.
Use this then. Don't worry, I'm not going to rap. So yeah, my name is Javina Greene. I'm from Birmingham campus. Shout out to Birmingham, because I'll probably have to say that. So this is us. This is women's experiences in music. and mainly about the collective that I built by studying at ACM called Females About Music. So shout out to them too, because I know they'll love that. The reason why I started Females About Music, or how it was created, was because before I joined ACM, I was searching out studios to record music, and predominantly they were run by men. When I asked them if there was any female producers to work with, kind of got a bit shirty, had a phone put down on me. So I thought to myself, instead of going into study like creative writing or singer-songwriting or rapping MC, because I am a bit of an MC, I decided to go into the production pathway. And when I joined the production pathway, there was a few women. I was a mature student. I am a black woman too, obviously. So I looked at the room and thought this could be a bit difficult. My own fears came, and I think that's one of the first pointers I would like to celebrate with ACM, is that it helped me overcome my fears. So doing the production pathway, I felt a bit like this, being seen, heard, and recognized for my contributions as a black woman. On more than one occasion, I've put in the groundwork to develop something, and others, men in particular, have been happy to come in at the end and take credit for my ideas. This is a participant of the collective's experience, but we actually all feel like this a lot. So, there is a bigger problem. There's a bigger problem in society, and there's a bigger problem in the creative industries and music industries. So everyone would know the Me Too campaign. Sarah Lewis, she challenged alleged sexual assaults, and she said this is a war that is fought daily by women everywhere. The statistics of sexual harassment for women are like over the top. And in festivals, women are feeling unsafe in studios. Our collective actually speaks a lot through our surveys that are done. And this is something that I developed through ACM, is going out and researching all the reports that other people had done before me, and women, and men too, to be fair. So ACM did this, made me a bit mental, in the sense of, at night, I want to make music. I'm a producer. I want to rap. I want to sing, write. And I'm there on my laptop searching for the gender disparities. What's happening for women in music? Like, who can I talk to? Like, is this really real? Or have I just found something on an article for like the Daily Times or whatever? So no, by the way, there wasn't loads of people. The first people I came in contact with was Cactus City UK. They create safe spaces. ACM is linked to Metropolis. Metropolis actually took on their charter, and you'll be surprised that for something that a lot of people understand, men and women, most of the studios would not even pay £10 a month to hold that charter to help Cactus City create safe space studios for women. Femme Fatale TV, they do a lot of podcasts. They're actually amazing. They just got their funding for a little site as well, Girls Grind UK, and all the rest. You may have heard Eve Horn. Eve Horn, shout out to Eve. I am one of the unheard, or we are one of the unheard, and I know she obviously studied at ACM. So we looked at the systematic inequalities at ACM. Me, Sana, Precious. Sana's from the Pakistani community. She's 21. Precious is from the Caribbean community, and she's the same age as me, 41. And, you know, we all have amazing talents. We've joined and came about a collective action, trying to bring equal opportunities for women in the industry, no matter what age and no matter what background and no matter what you're facing or what you have faced. We was going to keep that space open so women can learn, feel safe, and feel supported in what I learned through the Masters, a community ecosystem. So the collective goes beyond our collective. It's a community, it's wider. It started in ACM. It starts with my peers, it starts with the tutors, and shout out to some of the tutors that actually stood and listened to us. Joel Harrison particularly, that took time to hear us. We pushed the barriers in ACM, and I think without knowing, the environment allowed me to do that. Studying at ACM and seeing what tutors have done in their own careers. So this is our lovely collective, Females About Music. Shout out to Beyonce, lead engineer, 21, black woman, mixing and mastering engineer. Collaboration at Blue Rooms. We built a community outside of that. We were supported by community people, women, that helped us to fund our projects. We was able to go into blue rooms and create a collaborative album with Marwin the mentor, and then mastered by Natalie Bibby from a checklist. That is out now, Rule the World. You can catch that on Spotify. And also tomorrow, All I Wanna Do Is Make Music by the lovely Precious and Tracy. Katie Devine, she's studying in London. She met me, and she is a creative makeup artist and film director, and has support us with doing script writing for our music videos if we had a concept like a film. We have a demographic of 18 to 60, all backgrounds, all ages, and literally all different skill sets at senior levels. So this is how we began. Just a little recap. ACM allowed me to have a safe space to learn. I wasn't judged. Sometimes I was told no, but then they had to say yeah. With my efforts and my strength, but they allowed me to navigate and nurture, to take a bit of courage and push the boundaries, not just study, not just get an accreditation. What do you want to do out there? And I always remember one tutor, which is sitting here, said, is this about you, singular, or is this beyond you? And it was far beyond me. And it's gone to the scope of not just ACM students, it's gone out to, now we are in Grosvenor Road Studios. ACM supported us with that, but now we have secured enough to carry on for 3 months more, and probably another 6 months. So we are studying audio engineering. We have 2 sessions and a turnout that is absolutely packed. People are dying to get in. But this is my big change. This is what I want to do, and this is what I learned on the Masters. My recommendation, this is how we created a different initiative, innovative. And someone said to me, a tutor, is this really innovative? And I said, yeah, it is innovative, because I'm going to create this project. This project is in alignment with music, the creative industries, and the public sector. We don't get opportunities to be hired for adverts and campaigns, even in the organizations that are supporting ending violence against women and girls. So I've started that process already. Recommendation 2, which is the big one. So, sorry, ACM and other academies. This is what I plan to do. I plan to, instead of trying to push and challenge and feel hurt by the gatekeepers of the industry, we'll create our own female space, our own center that has everything in it for artist development, from videography to photography to makeup to even a walk-in wardrobe. Now that walk-in wardrobe isn't just so you can look good with some Zara clothes and maybe a little Gucci. That is to provide the brands to allow us to have sponsorship and potentially for them to use the music from the women on their campaigns and adverts. So we create this big ecosystem. We have an environment of safety for women, and also women in control done a seat at the table and said we need more women at the high level, senior levels. Well, if we create our own center, we'll have a lot of senior roles in music for women. And just a recap, to be innovative, you need to look back and see who your peers are. Sometimes they're in the Academy of ACM along your way, people like Tobias, people like Luke, and some others and the tutors, but also it's the people that were before us that have had the courage to stand their ground and say, no more. If you want to, I don't know, Tobias said it might not work, so, but this is all the initiatives. This is Females About Music. Check us out and keep in touch. Thank you.
Good day everybody, my name is Courtney and I'm speaking to you all the way from cold South Africa. I, through my studies during the Master's program here at ACM, went through the challenges that many independent artists in South Africa face, and I'm going to tell you a bit more about that. But first, why did I choose that? Well, I am a business music education educator, and I've been in the education industry here in South Africa for over 9 years, and I have seen countless independent artists come and go, and they're very talented, but they struggle to sustain their career in the music industry. And it's not due to the lack of talent, it's often due to having gaps in the business market side of things, or not having the right soft skills to keep themselves employed within the industry. So some of the gaps that we found were access to service providers, often having gatekeepers stopping them from getting to these service providers. Educational resources. This industry is constantly changing, and technology is constantly changing the industry, and how to keep up with that. Having a supportive community to be a part of, as well as a place to network and grow your network as an independent artist. So through my research, these were some of the skills that were identified as gaps to go and progress and build a platform on to help these independent artists better themselves and hopefully in the end help sustain their careers in the industry. These are some of the skills that the artists pointed out that they would like to improve. The top two being financial management and marketing and promotion. So together with this platform, I have also put a tailored educational program together to help assist these independent musicians to better their skills, to improve their skills, and to hopefully assist them in sustaining their careers. So I want to introduce to you SA Music Club. This is an online platform where independent musicians can subscribe to. They can get access to various service providers relevant to the music industry, and they can build their network, showcase what they have to offer. They can improve their skills by watching educational resources, having one-to-one mentorship programs, as well as being part of a thriving and supportive community. And that is the goal, to really uplift and grow the independent scene in South Africa and assist the artists with the struggles they face. There are a couple of phases to phase out this program, and I'm currently very much in the beginning phase, and that includes, number one, meeting with a program builder who can assist me in building a user-friendly interface that can be accessible preferably online as well as in app form for music industry experts and independent artists and service providers and all these people to subscribe to as a service provider, put on their services as an independent artist, build their profile, build their brand. And so that's currently the stage I'm in. I'm currently in the stage of building my community of people who are going to help me get this program started, and I'm actually currently in the room of one of the service providers I connected with to get this TED Talk filmed. So it really is showing positive things, and I'm looking very, very forward to it. The aim I have with this platform is to improve the music industry overall in South Africa, as well as to assist independent artists creating longevity in their careers and sustaining a music career in South Africa, which often a lot of people think is impossible, but very much is possible if you've just put in the right work ethic, they have the right skills from a soft skill point of view, and keep going at it. So thank you so much for your time today. Wish I could have been there with you in person. Hopefully one day. Bye-bye.
Right now, wowzer. I mean, I've been really blown away by the presentations, the subject areas that you guys have been researching, investigating, presenting. It's really been something special. We are going to move into the second part of our master's presentation today. So essentially, we're going to go quiet on our feed for a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Stay where you are, because we're going to come straight back, but we're just going to adjust our sets here, and we're going to move into the second section of our master's presentation. Stay where you are, and we'll be right back.
Hello.
Okay. Welcome back to our ACMies Day. Did you know that the ACMies, first of all, this is our inaugural year, so we're kicking this off and we'll follow on year to award our students and showcase their talent. So that's super exciting, but it is also part of Summer Live. You might have heard of Summer Live. We have a Winter Live, we have a Spring Live, and we have a Summer Live. And these are essentially student showcases where across all 3 campuses, Guildford, Birmingham, London, we get our students face forward, looking out off the stage into audiences and industry as well. But getting back to the task at hand, we're going to do our master's session, part 2. And what I'll do is I'll hand over to Katja. Over to you, Katja.
Thank you, Mike. First of all, thank you guys for sharing your thoughts, processes, and work development with us. It was great stuff we saw and hear today. We'll now move on to the next section of our event and hear from our presenters the invaluable insights into their personal journeys, their project developments, and the intricacies behind their research. We'll also explore the rationale behind their creative and academic decision-making, and we hope these conversations will provide you guys with a richer understanding of the passion and the effort that goes into their remarkable work. So let's get started. To each of you, can you give us a personal highlight of your postgraduate studies? Tobias, you can go first.
Can I say my framework? I think the framework from my research project, because I feel like that's something I can take forward. It's probably the biggest project I've done, so I think it has the most potential. That's why I think I'd say that. Yeah.
What about you, Luke?
I'd say, as a person that kind of went into the masters not really believing themselves too much, I think big highlight for me was actually doing really well in my assignments, and that really carried over, and it gave me a lot of motivation and kind of drive to just keep going.
I think my highlight was learning how to do mapping diagrams. Strangely, yeah, actually, I really started to enjoy it. I think I was a bit obsessed at one point, knowing what softwares to look at. But it was actually my highlight because I learned something different, and I realized how invaluable it is with other things that you want to do, like project management. So, yeah, I think that was my highlight, sadly.
Thank you. And what about you, Courtney? What was your personal highlight of your postgraduate studies?
Definitely the network that I grew in meeting you guys, the tasks that we had to do, and the people that it kind of forced me to go out and meet. So that was great.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Javina, can you tell us the most influential finding you've discovered from your research?
Okay. Yeah, do you know the most influential finding? The amount of talented women there is in the Midlands, and at an age group of, I would say 45 plus, like even getting into the 50s. And then when I went back to research notes that I'd made, I realized, and it's in the new document, and I'll just say it's in the House of Commons report, is women from 41 come out of the industry. Like they're peeling off, like they're dropping off. So there isn't any pairs for mentoring and stuff. But through the collective, that was my biggest finding, like having the audio sessions at Grosvenor Road Studios and finding out there's a black opera singer, there's vocal trainers, there's well-being coaches, there's women that are talented in like top line of writing, like unbelievable flute players we've got in our collective. And so I think that was the biggest thing for me. It just really made me feel enriched. And I think from the community of ethnicity, seeing maturer women come back into a community and want to lend a hand to the youngsters. So we've seemed to have like young people that are lost and they've actually found their pair, like a family, like a mom or an aunt, and them going out for food and stuff. And I think that's the biggest thing that I found through my master's.
Thank you for that. Luke, what would you say has been your biggest academic challenge, and how have you overcome this?
Right, I would say the biggest academic challenge was the last term on the master's. It was the massive research project that we did, and it's difficult because I felt myself falling behind for a long time, and I didn't really know what to do. I thought I was taking all the right steps, but I wasn't, in all honesty. And it's kind of, yeah, it was difficult. I kind of had to go 110% for a bit and just really work hard. And, you know, it was with the help of Katia, you know, you really got me there. And it was, yeah, that's what I'd say my hardest academic challenge was. Also academic writing, because I'm dyslexic, so I find that rather difficult. And a lot of the times I just don't get it. It's like, why does that have to be in that certain way? But so, yeah, it's kind of looking over your work more than once and using other examples of academic work to try and form more academic sentences. So that was
And
a
put in
challenge.
64 hours of work to
Yeah,
do these
exactly,
prototypes. Courtney, what area of the master's program do you feel has been most helpful for your career goals?
A bit of a belief in myself and that the things I have to say are valuable in a sense. I teach music business here in South Africa to undergrad students, and yeah, this has really helped me have a better belief in myself and that I'm not, have value to add to their lives. And learning from the masters and some of the things we've discussed and gone through and tasks has been very positive in how I approach things and things like that. So that's really been great for me from that point of view.
Oh, that's great to hear. Tobias, how did you navigate independent working? Did you put any strategies in place to motivate yourself? And following from this, did you use any particular organizational strategies to facilitate the extensive research alongside the deadlines and the work for the other modules? It's kind of a big one.
Yeah, one thing at a time. How did I navigate independent working? I've been able to work independently for a few years since I started my bachelor's, so I didn't really struggle with that sense. Was it how to motivate myself to work independently?
Mm-hmm. And then any strategies that you put in place to keep it going?
I think knowing the end goal and a vision for me, what was motivating me is achieving the master's grade and also knowing my project, this can actually lead into something. I don't want to rest and not develop with it. In terms of any like organizational strategies, I can't think of any. I just got on with it, to be honest.
So how did you manage the 4 modules running at the same time?
A lot of hours sitting at my desk.
Not sleeping?
Yeah. I think it's just a drive to just keep going. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's fine. Many people can be daunting by approaching research and writing a large body of text. Javina, do you have any advice for people in this position?
Yes, I have loads of advice. I don't think it depends on the topic, but I think if you're looking at things that are maybe to do with social change, you are overwhelmed with the thing that you're passionate about. There is loads to read, and I have, from my background, I haven't done education for a very long time, so I had to retrain myself. But I was passionate. I think your passion for the topic is the thing. I feel like even when you think it's overwhelming, like don't go and think, oh, I'll just go over here because it's a little bit of research. Like go full into it, load yourself up with papers. I would say I learned how to strategically get through them over from degree to masters, but definitely in the masters, I think you have to personally put them into categories, copy and paste. I mean, ACM, strangely, I found out later, they have this portal that has like these top tips of how to use like research and do research. I kind of went to it later. But I think place them into folders, copy and paste, like read the introduction, the abstract, go through it a little bit, go to the end, the conclusion, and then grab. And if you really like it, read it. And I think then I just put things in folders. And also, do you know what? If you're not a reader, if you're struggling, the biggest thing that I found that helped me is talking to the community of your topic. because that is your research too. It's not just the reading, it's go and talk, have an interview with someone, meet them for coffee, do all of that. And I would say also, you are going to cry and you are going to get frustrated at the tutors, and it's okay. And also just, try and sleep if you can. Keep hydrated. I'm trying to be really good with the well-being stuff. But yeah, I think that's all. With the research, it's very difficult, but there is loads of support as well in ACM for academic writing and your peers as well. I think your community inside will help you.
Thank you so much, Javina. Courtney, how have you approached planning for the next stage of your progress and your move into industry? Although you are currently in it, but what's the next step then?
I'm interested in potentially doing my doctorate, so doing research into what are the steps into that, talking to people who have done that, and how is that. But yeah, I definitely am glad that I did this master's, because I never thought I would get to a master's level. So just achieving this has been great. But yeah, definitely looking into that next stage of the academic side of things.
Nice. Look, what did you learn about yourself while studying for your master's degree?
Well, a lot really. The biggest thing was I realised just how much I have to look after myself while doing the studies, because especially in this last term, I've had to kind of drop a lot of things that I'm normally doing to look after myself, like go to the gym, going for long walks, and I'd say it's definitely affected me a lot. I think those things kind of helped me to release the pressure of stress, and so it kind of taught me I need to look after myself better, and make sure that even though I've got to push myself, you can't push yourself to the point where you can't handle it anymore. So, yeah, just setting boundaries, yeah.
Tobias, are there any areas you wish to research further as you move into the next stage of your career?
Yes, from my master's, the actual research module, I want to take to a PhD level. The new question I want to look at is how can advanced technologies, educational teaching methods, and organizational support collectively enhance career progression for music professionals. I don't want to just target musicians solely. I want it to be the whole creative sector. Because when I was doing my literature review, I found those are the three themes of educational AI, for example, and organizational structures. They had the most influence on career progression. So looking to it on a much bigger scale, but focusing on those three elements. That's what I want to take to the next level. Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
All right.
To everyone, reflecting on your time as a master's student, if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice prior to starting the MA course, what would it be? Who wants to start?
I would say to start on the research project a lot sooner and stop thinking that it's okay to just not do anything that term, because it will catch up to you.
I would say don't be narrow-minded and make sure you have an outlook of what you're going to be doing for the whole year instead of just focusing on term by term.
That it's going to be hard, but you can get through it. It's all right. I don't think there's anything I would have maybe done different. I think I would have told myself maybe to actually really plan my days a bit more, like maybe to, because I love producing, I've got equipment at home, but the importance of coming back into campus and stuff, and I know there's all different factors that can interrupt that with what we're dealing with now in society, but I think just maybe having us, like even outside the lessons, I know it's only like a couple of days a week, that it's okay to maybe go and find a space at campus and study, because I feel like it's important to come out of your home where you do your music, you watch TV. I watch Real Housewives a lot. So, I mean, I think it's one of the things that I would have done is outside of the lessons, booked a space earlier. I did that later, but I would have asked, could I have more days at uni, at campus? Because I think that to be around your peers and have energy moving is just so important to your well-being, and also inspiring you to look a bit further into things. But yeah, that would probably be one of the ones.
That's fantastic. And what about you, Courtney?
When your lecturers ask for a piece of work, show them something, because their advice is super valuable and will help direct you a lot when it comes to the last couple of days. And yeah, the journey is important, and making sure you on track of that journey, because you guys obviously set out steps to complete the journey, and if we don't stick to those steps, it becomes very chaotic towards the end, and that's where the tears and breakdowns start to come in.
Okay, we're not that bad, just FYI. And finally, where do you see yourself in 5 years, professionally speaking, to each of you?
Okay, I'll go first. I'm going to have a centre for women, a safe space. That's what I'm going to do. So watch out, everyone. I'm going to have that centre. I feel like I will be maybe in the field of like executive producing or vocal engineering, in the sense of editing vocals, but also doing more research around finding different spaces in different areas. I mean, there's amazing talent, like in different areas. Got one visitor here I'd like to do a shout out. I think it's important that culturally I want to do a lot more with women from diverse communities, backgrounds, and making sure that their heritage and their culture isn't lost in commercial music. Like, we have to change. We can't speak our language. We can't talk the way we want to talk. I think it's so important that education and academic spaces really take that on for ethnic minorities. So yeah, in 5 years, if other centres don't have that, I will have the centre. So that's where I feel like I'll be.
I hope in 5 years that I would have done that extended research, and either the framework or my Uncharted Sonic stuff, I would have an actual strategy that is being implemented in at least one institution. Yeah, I just hope it all develops and is actually applied into somewhere. So that's what I hope.
Yeah, I'd say for me, I like the idea of maybe having a small business where I can, look at building synthesizers with a team and, hopefully help people that, might want to buy them but can't really afford them. Also, pursuing my own musical career as a producer. I hope I could get somewhere with that too. Everyone always wishes, but yeah, I'm trying to not just put all my eggs in one basket. I'm trying to do a bit of everything. So, yeah.
There you go.
For me, it'll be that the platform would be up and running and be a successful form of income, and that I could be assisting and influencing a lot more people who are wanting to learn about the creative industry and helping them on their journey to where they want to go.
Great stuff here. Well, thank you guys for sharing with us the exciting prospects of being a part of our master's degree here at ACM. We are very proud of our growing postgraduate school and the ever-evolving creative community that thrives on collaboration and the sharing of ideas. And in the spirit of that community, we're excited to introduce our final segment, an armchair discussion. This will be an informal and interactive session where our students here will randomly select questions from that poll and share their thoughts and feelings with you. This is a wonderful opportunity for us to compare approaches, learn from each other, and hopefully spark new ideas. So without further ado, let's discuss working in the creative industries that more often than not seem to be more industry than creative. There you go. Have fun.
What are some of the most valuable things you've learned from being part of a creative community? I would say collaboration helps a lot. I think that's the most valuable thing, learning off one another and using each other's strengths to help achieve an end goal. That would be the most valuable thing.
So mine says, how has university changed you as a person? It's difficult to say. I feel the same, but also so different. I think a big part of it comes from belief, like believing in yourself. Even if you don't believe in yourself, tell yourself that you do, because, you know, someone that never thought they would even be on a master's, you know, I'm here now, and I've done it. So, yeah, it's given me belief.
Can you describe your proudest moment throughout your university studies?
Yeah, my proudest moment, I think, was knowing that outside of ACM, in the world, there are people that generally care, like to help you, and being able to do the collaborative EP with the women in the collective, that we went to Blue Rooms, that we supported each other, and seeing them women feel empowered and also valued. And then to go back after being in a workshop at Metropolis to say to Natalie Bibby, can you help us master this? And I feel that that was one of the proudest moments to know, then seeing it being released and the growth in the women from that stage on it's like amazing. So I think that would be my proudest moment. I know, right? Tissues.
Courtney, can you describe a time where you felt you have failed, and how did you pick yourself up, and what did you learn?
A lot of the time. Yeah, it's not an easy journey. The studying, it's rough. But usually it would start with a little bit of a self-pity cry, and then, you know, words of encouragement from loved ones and the lecturers and things like that, and then kind of getting over it and starting a new day and taking that challenge on. But yeah, just also knowing what the end goal was, and that, you know, there was still time to get there, and trying to not go into a dark hole and know that there was still a chance.
That's a long one. Sometimes some of the biggest pressures we feel are self-inflicted. How do you manage setting yourself high but achievable goals? What does this process involve? I think setting mini goals at different stages to then the bigger goal helps a lot. That'd be the process I advise, is because you can't do a whole big task by just saying, I'm going to do this. There's a lot of events that need to happen to get to that stage. So, yeah.
So in a world of distraction, in a world of distractions, how did you practice focus? So, yeah, it's tough working at home, at your desk all day. So I found for me was changing my environment, maybe going in the living room, going in the garden, even working out there. You kind of got to give your mind some time to just change your environment. And, you know, when you find you do that, it really helps. And sometimes even just having the TV on in the background, it really helped me work. Because it felt like I wasn't just alone. It's like you have like atmosphere. When I was watching the Euros, and it was really helping me get through the you know, all the work. And yeah, I'd say changing your environment is a big one. But not just once. You maybe do it every time you feel your mind getting to that point where it can't push any further. Get out of the room that you're in. Maybe go for a walk.
When working alone, maintaining a work-life balance can be hard. Don't I know it? Do you feel you've achieved this? If so, how? And if not, what would you do differently? When working alone. Oh yeah, I don't mind being alone. I'm used to it. Not in a even in a bad way. I think when you've got goals and aspirations, I think like you can dream about them. I don't know who it was, a music artist said, you can dream all day about stuff until you are proactive and you put action into it. It's not gonna become real. So I maintained that I did feel it hard, but I'm just someone that I'm just driven. Like if I'm on a go, probably I learned from Katia especially that I need to plan a bit better. Because I'm just someone, I have an idea and I'm like, I can see it, and I'm going to ask you for some help. I'm going to go over there, and I don't think that's bad either. And that would be my advice as well, like don't feel scared to go and ask for help, or don't feel scared to push the thing that people keep saying no, and they don't want to listen. I've sent tons of emails to ACM, and I've sent tons of emails to places, and you feel like nothing's been heard, and sometimes as well that isn't the case. They're listening, but maybe there's a process in dealing with stuff. But yeah, I don't think I would. Actually, I would have slept a bit more. I would have slept a bit more, and I would have maybe gone on a holiday, like I would have liked a bit of sun at the time. The balcony was a bit annoying in Bromsgrove, so don't come and visit me. Anyone that just heard that I live in Bromsgrove, but yeah, that's it. I think that's it.
Thank you. Courtney, what would you say are the most vital personal characteristics needed to be a successful creative? It's a big one.
Just keeping to your word, knowing your responsibility, showing up when you're expected to show up, knowing what is expected of you and making sure you've done that. Because there's a lot of talented people out there in the creative industry, but it's kind of those things, and it's something that I researched a lot on and had a lot of discussions with people, but it's those soft skills that they call them, that is the slight difference maker. Is that you're just a reliable human that people can, if they give you something to do or ask you to be part of their band or whatever, that they can rely on you and know that things are going to go well.
Last round.
How did you remain resilient throughout the process? Again, just knowing what the end goals are and just try not to lose vision of what the journey is.
Are you an introvert or an extrovert, and how has your personality type helped or hindered your creativity? So, yeah, I'm definitely an introvert, quite massively, and it was really tough, especially when we had to approach people and do stakeholders, and it's far out my comfort zone. Even today, this was quite far out my comfort zone, but. So it has hindered my creativity in a way that I feel like sometimes I'm not really able to do what I want, but I've been really good at managing to just do it. And that's something I've learned from this master's, is just you just do it, and afterwards you're going to feel better if you've done it. And that has really helped.
Last one. That big old one. Oh, look at that. You can have that, What does university mean to you? So before, I just thought it was for the rich, basically. I'm just being real. That's what I thought before. My perception is I'm never going to go to university. I don't think, bar one person in my family has gone to university. So I just believe that, and a good university. So this was, I think university means to me now, it is your community. I think that it's where you see professionals. I know they're tutors, but what I realize is they've had a process like us, learning stuff, education, going out, knocking doors, being turned down probably, and I think university also means for me is a place where you can cultivate an idea from like the bottom kind of level, or even you could be really skilled at it. And I feel like it gives you, university is a place where it makes you or breaks you. And it doesn't mean that I feel like it means breaks you that you drop out, because yeah, people sometimes drop out, doesn't mean they're not. But I feel like it can break you, but in an absolutely good way, because I think sometimes like there's something in you that needs to go for you to see clearly, this is what I want to do. And I feel like university is definitely your community of friends. Like, I don't know you that well, but obviously I see them all the time on the Zooms. But, you know, like, they're good people. And I think as a woman as well, it's nice to meet, personally, university for me as a woman, it's nice to meet respectful men in the industry when you're researching about the not respectful. Do you see what I'm saying? So a shout out to you too for being that in the university field. Yeah, that's university.
And Courtney, lastly, what were you most anxious about prior to starting your studies?
Was I going to be able to do it? Especially being in a different country. I was very nervous about that. But it's been amazing. It's been an amazing experience. I've learned so much. I've grown a lot. It's really been amazing. And yeah, it's just take it day by day, moment by moment, and you get through it. So thank you.
Now let's give a round of applause once again to Tobias, Javina, Luke, and Courtney for sharing their insights and experiences. Yay! Honestly, well done. Your contributions have made this event truly memorable. And as we come to the end of our postgraduate showcase, let's take a moment to reflect on the incredible work and dedication that we've witnessed here today. These presentations and discussions have not only highlighted the innovative research and projects of our students, but also showcased the collaborative and supportive spirit that defines our ACM community. Now, today's event has been a testament to the talent, passion, and hard work of our students. And we are excited to see where their journeys are going to take them next. We hope you guys leave here today feeling inspired by the incredible creativity and innovation we've shared. We look forward to seeing you all at future ACM events and continuing to celebrate the achievements of our talented community. Until then, take a look around at the postgraduate research posters that are all displayed around the SSL studio here. And if you have any master's questions or you want extra information, you can meet me at the stand right there. So thank you, everybody.
Okay, well, wasn't that something? I mean, real insight into being a student, working hard, achievement. And so as part of our ACMies Awards, everybody that you will see here today, students that is, we've all expected to have them go through a really high level of studentship. And so the students that we have here today, congratulations to you guys, by the way, have all shown exceptional ability, but exceptional studentship. And that's engaging with their studies, attending, working with their tutors. And so it's really a big celebration of studying here at ACM. So we're going to wrap up our master's program, our presentation, should I say, for today. We're going to move on to some more events later today, and the first event that you can watch on our feed will be 2:15, so make sure you're parked in front of your computer or you're here in the studio at 2:15, because this is going to be my favorite one, because we have a sort of a dual presentation or dual awards. We have something called Song of the Year, and that's going to feature production students and composition students and songwriter students and so on and so forth, creative artists. And we also have some live performances as well, and that's going to be our Company of Musicians Award. So we're going to put our feet down for a little while, stay on hold. We're going to change this all up so that we can get some live music going in here. And again, come back to us at 2:15, don't be late, and we'll carry on with our ACMies. There's going to be some other events later this afternoon, including our Chairman's Choice, Live Performance Award of the Year, and then finally, what everybody's wondering is who's going to win the awards at our ACMies for each category that we're presenting today. So stay tuned, come back at 2:15, and have a lovely lunch. See you in a bit.